Aloha. So today I would like to talk about ear infections and what herbs that I use on my kids and myself and my animals as well when dealing with either earaches or ear infections. So the key is that you always want to treat it like it's infected. Even if it's an earache and it's just full of mucus and it's painful, there can still be an infection. So I always treat both ears like they're infected, even if only one side is bothering my little ones. So the first herb that I use is garlic oil. And garlic oil is amazing. It's antifungal, it's antiviral, and antibacterial. So it's going to kill whatever is in the ears to help get rid of the infection. So you always want to make sure that you use that first. So what I do is I have my little ones lay on the couch with whatever ear is bothering them up first, and I drop about a half of a dropper full or less. Obviously, it depends on, how old they are. A newborn's ear canal is going to be a lot smaller than, a 10-year-old child or an adult. So you can't use too much by any means. The more you use, the better. So I just try to use at least a half of a dropper full, or less if needed, to just get that down into the ear canal. And then I massage it back here behind the ear to try to get to move that down into the eustachian tubes. Then what you want to use is Lobelia. Lobelia is amazing. It's a decongestant. It also helps with pain. So it's going to draw out whatever mucus is in the eustachian tubes, which is causing not only the pain, but the infection itself. So you always want to use the garlic oil first, and then you follow it with the lobelia. And I have them lay for at least 5 minutes, 10 minutes if they can. You can put a little piece of a cotton swab or a little piece of a paper towel just so it's not, running down their ear. And just try to have them sit with that for 5 to 10 minutes and then switch sides and then do the other side. And I use this every 20 to 30 minutes, just depending on how bad it is. If they're in a lot of pain, I'm doing it every 20 to 30 minutes, and I make them just consistently switch sides. Now, if they really only have one side that is seriously hurting and the other side is fine, then obviously you treat the one that's hurting the most more frequently than you would the other one. The reason why you treat both is because all of your eustachian tubes are connected. So I'm sure in your experience you've witnessed it can switch sides. One side can be hurting, and then all of a sudden it switches to the other side. So I always treat both sides, but like I said, if you have one side that is in a lot more pain and a lot more full of mucus than the other, then treat that one the most frequently and just hit it really hard. So like I said, every 20 to 30 minutes if you need to. If it's mild, every hour or two, whatever's needed. There's no right or wrong to it. The rule of thumb with herbs is that you kind of gauge on a scale of like 1 to 10 of how bad is it hurting. So if they're in a lot of pain, if it's an 8 or a 9, they're in a lot of pain, I'm putting the herbs in every 20 minutes, every 30 minutes until they start to feel relief. And these herbs work really fast, but you have to hit it hard and you have to begin them immediately. The other really important aspect about any kind of infection, and goes as far as colds, flu, anything. It doesn't matter what it is, but specifically talking about ear infections, you have mucus in the body, therefore it is accumulated in your ears. So you've eaten something or are eating something that is causing and creating mucus in your body. So the mucus forming foods are dairy, artificial sugars, gluten, meat, and eggs. So pretty much any animal products are going to cause mucus in the body. Breads, pastas, things like that, and eggs. So especially while you are having these symptoms, it's crucial to completely stay away from all of those foods, because it doesn't matter all the herbs that you take in the world. It's not going to cut it if you're just consistently filling your body with more mucus forming foods. So when my little ones are sick, I'm especially strict with their diet and make sure that they're only eating organic, raw fruits and vegetables. I keep it really, really simple. I do lots of smoothies. I do juices. whole big bowls full of organic berries, whatever they fill up to eating. Another healthy snack that you can make is homemade popcorn. You just want to make sure that you don't put any butter on it, and you put like a good Himalayan rock salt, and you can use either coconut oil or olive oil to cook it in. Just some different things like that. And on top of making sure that they're eating extremely clean and then utilizing the garlic oil and the lobelia, what I also do is I also use this formula called Kitty Reg. It's exactly what it sounds like. So it is going to help clear out the bowels, because anytime your eliminatory channels are blocked, you're going to create sickness, illness within the body. So I use it all the time, but especially when they're sick and they have something going on, I make sure that I'm giving them that more frequently. And it has herbs like slippery elm bark, which is amazing, and it's in fig syrup, so it's really palatable, so it tastes good. So you can just put it right in their mouth, and the more you use, the better. So the reason why this formula is so effective is because it actually targets the peristaltic muscle, which is in the colon. So the peristaltic muscle moves in a wave-like motion in your colon, and it actually becomes paralyzed when you eat foods such as animal products, gluten, and artificial sugars, and therefore causing constipation. And then once you start experiencing constipation, it's only a matter of time before you get sick. And it shows up differently in everybody's bodies because we have different inherent weaknesses within our bodies. And the reason why this happens is because when you're not efficiently eliminating the fecal matter that gets stuck in your bowels, actually the toxins in the fecal matter just reabsorbs into your bloodstream because it has nowhere else to go. So really at the root of every disease, ailment, anything is constipation. So it's extremely important to make sure that all of your eliminatory channels are open and flowing, and specifically when you're sick. So when I give my little ones the Kitty Reg, I give them 2 to 3 dropperfuls every hour if needed. You can give it every 20 to 30 minutes. You can give it every 4 hours. It's what you, like I said before, you kind of have to gauge from a scale of 1 to 10 how bad is what you're fighting. You always want to fight harder with the herbs than what you're dealing with. So that's kind of why I said you kind of gauge from 1 to 10. So like I said, you treat the ears with the garlic oil first, and then you add the lobelia. You always treat both sides depending on how bad it is. Hit it really hard from the beginning. It'll just get rid of it much faster. Every 20 to 30 minutes, every hour. And then also using the Kitty Reg and making sure that their bowels are clear, making sure they're drinking lots of water. I also make my little ones red raspberry leaf tea with raw honey. That's really medicinal. It's antiviral and antibacterial itself. And I'm going to make some more videos on some of the medicinal teas that I use and also some helpful recipes. But my rule of thumb is just keep it simple. Organic, whole fruits and vegetables, especially when they're sick. And there's healthier snacks such as, homemade popcorn that you can make that's not in the microwave on the stovetop without butter, and a good healthy, Himalayan rock salt is perfect. So I hope that this was helpful and informative. Don't hesitate to comment below, and also don't forget to like and subscribe. Mahalo.